Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Hopkins County early voting numbers are running near norm for the runoff primary election, according to County Clerk Debbie Shirley. Through Thursday at 10:30, 239 Republicans and Democrats had cast ballots. Early voting continues through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. at the Silver Springs School District Administration Boardroom on Conley Street. Texas voters return to the polls May 24th. The polls will be open 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. as they cast ballots in the runoff election. Democrats have only one decision to make, and that's for Railroad Commissioner. Grady Yarbrough and Cody Garrett are on the ballot. Local interest in the primary runoff favors the Republican Party. In Hopkins County, a runoff for Commissioner Precinct 1 will determine not only the Republican nominee for the place, but also the ultimate winner. No Democrat has filed for Precinct 1. Also on the Republican ballot will be District 9 for the Texas Education Board, Railroad Commissioner, which features Wayne Christian versus Gary Gates, Court of Criminal Appeals, Place 2, Ray Wheelis versus Mary Lou Keel, and Court of Appeals Place 5, Brent Webster versus Scott Walker. In the District 9 school board race, Kevin Ellis, 45-year-old president of the Lufkin Independent School District Board, is running against Mary Lou Bruner, age 69, a retired teacher that's seeking the seat. According to Michael Lamb, superintendent of Silver Springs Schools, Ellis is the better choice. He says Ellis is well in tune with issues of schools today. He says Bruner is not in tune with those issues, stating Ellis the better choice. The Dallas Morning News has also endorsed Ellis for the position. Bruner has some interesting ideas, including a conspiracy theory that the Democratic Party had John Fitzgerald Kennedy killed. Thursday morning, Silver Springs High School honor graduates, parents, and their favorite teachers were treated to breakfast in the exhibit hall at the Regional Civic Center. The annual event began in the 1980s by then Superintendent of Schools Danny Durham. Students were honored during the event. Doug Haston was there for KSST News.
Welcome to all of you. We're glad you're here. This is one of the most exciting events of the year. I love seeing the students that have worked so hard come in early, eat breakfast with us, and bring their favorite teacher. It's a lot of fun to see this and be a part of it. We want to say welcome to the parents, to the students, to the selected teachers, to our school board, to the special guests we have. That's what I'm supposed to do, is recognize our special guests. I'd like to say thank you, first of all, to Alliance Bank and Tom Sellers. Tom, where are you? Tom, thank you for helping us put this on. We couldn't have an event like this without Doug Haston back there with KSST. Doug, welcome. We have Callie Hattonville from Texas A&M University of Commerce. Hello. I'm sorry, Dally. It's Dally. I see her name and I struggle with it every time. And I say Dally like Callie. And I wrote down Callie. And then I called you Callie. And it's not Callie, it's Dally. One more time. Her name is Dally. Like Callie. The Honorable Kayla Price is here. Thank you, Kayla. And I believe one other. This is a list that's sent out, and we look for RSVPs. And Marcy, my secretary, bolded the RSVPs. And Bobby, aren't you a little bit related to Marcy? And you're not bolded. So you must not have RSVP'd the proper way. I'd like for you to do that in the future, please. But since you're here, I'm going to go ahead and recognize you. Bobby McDonald from Front Porch News is out there. At this time, I'd like to introduce our outgoing board president, John Prickett. He's going to come forward and say a few words, I'm sure. He's a man of many words, and introduce our school board.
I want to say just two things real quick. There was a book published in 2012 called How Children Succeed. And it's about 200 pages filled with facts and figures, research and data and stuff that goes in one ear and out the other in most cases in my reading. There were 2 or 3 things that I remember vividly in the book, and one of them was a quote from an at-risk student. And I would venture to say that most of you in this room that are students are not what would be classified as at risk. But this student was interviewed, and this student said, "I had a lot of potential in my life, and I probably should have done more with it. I had a lot of potential in my life, and probably should have done more with it." That's from an at-risk student. You are really sort of cream of the crop of SSI, ISD, and even beyond. And you do have a lot of potential. And I hope that quote stays with you for a little while, because you do have a lot of potential. And when you do, it's a responsibility to do a lot of things with it. So this morning I exhort you to examine yourselves. Let each of you determine where your greatest chance of success is. For the sake of those that are standing with you here today, for the sake of this moment, seize this chance. Rejoice in it. And let no power or persuasion deter you in your task. And that will be when you can look back and say, I did a lot with what I was given. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. And may God richly bless you.
Peanut is available for adoption at Hearts of Life Animal Rescue. Peanut and a friend found themselves in a dangerous situation with larger dogs when a volunteer at the shelter rescued them, according to Deborah Balcom with Hearts of Life.
Peanut is about 1.5 years old. He's obviously a terrier mix of some sort. He's probably as big as he's going to get. He and another little dog were just found wandering. He actually had a chewed up rope around his neck, so I guess he had gotten away from somewhere. And we, of course, advertised. They've been on Facebook, hoping that maybe the owners would come forth and say we lost the 2 dogs, but nobody has notified us at all. So if somebody is watching and this is happens to be their dog, you can call us at 439-5019, and we'll be glad to talk to you about maybe getting your dog back. But at this point, he is a Hearts of Life dog. He's looking for a home. For $90, you can adopt him. He, this time tomorrow, will be neutered. He has an appointment with the vet when we leave here. So he will be neutered. He's had his shots, and so he's ready to go. And we've only had him about, I guess, going on 3 weeks now. So other than, just having him and just being around him, he seems to be just a nice little dog. He doesn't seem to be a problem, and except that he's really fast. That will show you. So, if somebody adopts him, we'll definitely need to keep him into a fenced-in yard until he knows his boundaries, because he can run really fast on these little short legs. So, but a nice little dog.
He's stray, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And
Right.
how many of the dogs that you have are just literally stray animals?
That's what they are. That's probably 90% of them are just, they were wandering, they were starving, or they were injured, and we picked them up and we, nursed them back to health. Pretty much that's just the way they are. And of course we are no kill, so that once we take them in, unless there's a life-threatening issue to where they're suffering, they're with us until they're adopted, and we just care for them. But that's what this little dog and his little friend were about to get into, a situation to where they probably would have been killed by some larger dogs. So another volunteer happened to be there, and she cornered them and picked them up and brought them to us. So anyway, they're healthy and looking for homes. So
On an average week, a dog a week, 2 dogs a week?
That we pick up? Well, right now, we don't try to get any. We would rather not to. I mean, we have call after call after call for people that have dogs that that they don't want or they can't keep or whatever, and we can't take any.
Right.
We just can't. And it seems like, well, just like these two, we had an adoption event. It just seems like when we adopt 1 or 2, then that place is taken. So we just we maintain 50 dogs.
Right.
We'll have good luck, and then it's like, something happens, and something like this comes up. So
How do you refer on? How do you refer the people who have dogs to someone else? I mean, do you have anyone you can refer them to?
we have no one, and it's a bad situation because all of the rescue organizations like us, and even the kill shelters, they're full. Everybody is full, and it all goes back to people. If they would neuter and spay, you wouldn't have nearly as many dogs and cats. And if people adopt a pet, if more people thought of them as part of the family, if you adopt a pet, that's a that's a commitment for the dog's life or the cat's life. It's not like, oh, well, I've got him for a year and, well, I'm going to move and I just don't want this dog anymore. And that's, that happens. It's like, well, I can't have this dog anymore. Or, well, that's bad because the animal's been in a home and they've been loved, and now all of a sudden, well, we're just going to kick them out. And, unfortunately, you have to, people are that way. And
So people need to give long thought to the idea of having a pet.
Absolutely. And we try to, when somebody says they want to adopt one of ours, we tell them, that's a commitment. It is. And of course, we have a contract where if at some point, if someone adopts one of our animals and then for whatever reason they can't keep the dog anymore, then we tell them, call us. We will try to take it back if we have room, and if not, we'll try to help you. But we don't ever want somebody to take one of our dogs and then it be dumped again, because they've already gone through that once in their life and they don't need to do it again. So see, there again,
Right.
Sometimes we get a dog back
Right.
that a person,
Right.
didn't like, or it didn't work out or whatever. And sometimes it just doesn't work out for them. But it is a commitment. And, if somebody adopts a puppy, that's a real commitment.
Right.
That's a child. So this one's not so much a puppy anymore. He's very playful, but I haven't noticed him chewing, so maybe he's out of that stage. So
Right. Event coming up.
we are tentatively scheduled to be at Fix and Feed Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
So, and hopefully we'll be right out front there, and we still have some of our puppies. We have, I believe 5 of the puppies. The one I brought last week, we still have her. She's still available. So we'll have our puppies, and if Peanut is still available, I hope Peanut has a home before then, but if he's hasn't, he'll be at Fix and Feed. So
Again, the number.
439-5019.
Sulphur Springs Imaging Center is new to Sulphur Springs, but the concept of an outpatient x-ray or imaging service is not new. In fact, the Paris Radiology Center, part of this group of offices, was the first in Texas back in the 1950s. Owner Roy McGahee also owns outpatient offices in Longview, Rockwall, Greenville, and Mount Pleasant, and now in Sulphur Springs. So let's meet Roy McGahee and Marketing Director Eric Berry of Sulphur Springs Imaging Center, 109 Medical Circle.
We have imaging centers in several other towns like Mount Pleasant and Greenville and Paris and Rockwall and Longview. So when we built this one, we wanted to make sure it was about the most state-of-the-art facility that you could have. And so honestly, right now, you can't go to Dallas, Houston, or anywhere else to a more state-of-the-art facility. And we're the only facility in the area with a 3 Tesla magnet, what they call a 3T magnet. What's so great about that is that the images are 3 times the resolution versus what any other MRI in the area is. Also, your scan time that you're in the scanner itself is reduced by 50%. So therefore, if you're kind of in a pain with your low back, it's hard to lay there 45 minutes. And ours, you can have it done within 20 minutes. And so that's a big benefit also. We also decided that we were going to put in all of the newest, most advanced CT scanner that will reduce your radiation dose by 68% versus any other CT equipment in the area. Then we went ahead and was our radiologists are very radiation conscious. So we went ahead and put in the new DR system for regular X-ray, which reduces your radiation dose by 50% over the existing CR systems that are out there. We also put in the new ultrasound equipment that has 3D, 4D, where you can have ladies that are having their babies and they get about 28 weeks during their pregnancy. They can come in and have scans done, and you can actually see the baby really well if the baby's cooperative and is looking at you so you can get to the face, you know. But anyway, we wanted to make all of these things available to Hopkins County. We're upgrading a lot of our other equipment in our other centers to match this one. This one's kind of right now, the most state-of-the-art we have, but of course we'll try to do the same thing with the other ones eventually.
And we want to get with you as you go forward in this, because I know it's a new venture and it's an exciting new venture. And a lot of folks know you from healthcare for these many years in Sulphur Springs, Hopkins, and surrounding areas.
Right, yeah. I've been here for, I came back from, when I graduated from radiology school, I came back here in '67, was at the hospital for over 30 years, and of course radiology's always been my love in life, and I really wanted to have the absolute best for Sulphur Springs. I just thought it was being hometown. I wanted it to be the best.
It feels like that it is. I got a very nice tour of Sulphur Springs Imaging Center. Also, Eric Berry is there, and you are marketing director?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I know you have to be impressed with the new place.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a state-of-the-art equipment. The building itself, the access for the patients to come in and get them in and get them right out. No more waiting hours at the hospital-based facilities. You can come on your lunch break. We can get you in and get you back. You can be back at work within an hour.
And it takes just a little while, and you get the very best. Well, you were on Medical Circle. Was it Dr. White's office previously?
Correct. Previously, Dr. White's office. We purchased it from him, and of course, we had to add quite a bit to it so we could put our new MR and CT equipment in.
Okay.
But it's an excellent location. It's very easy to find. It was a good experience developing it from an existing office to expand it to an imaging center, but it's worked out really well. You know, the thing we wanted more than just getting the best equipment and the more state of the art. With our being our own imaging center, our charges are 40 to 50% less than what it costs to go to the hospital and have the very same thing done. With our equipment, you're getting 68% less radiation on the CT scanner, on our CT scanner. On their X-ray, you're getting 50% less radiation. And with our MRI, you're getting 3 times better images, better resolution, and you're also only having to stay in the scanner half the amount of time, and it costs you 50% less on most cases. And our charges also include the radiologist interpretation. Anytime you go to any hospital, the radiologist will send you a bill a month or so later, and you'll have this other bill, and you say, what in the world's that? That's for the radiologist at the hospital bills separately, but we include that in our charges.
At a half a price rate.
That is an excellent point.
Yeah.
And it's what people are looking for today. I mean, now we're able to do a little shopping for the things that we need.
Right, and the government had a ruling in working with the insurance companies a few years ago where they established the patient's Bill of Rights, which gives the patient the opportunity to choose wherever they want to go. A few years ago, a lot of the doctors were either employees of hospitals or they were invested in an imaging center, and they would insist the patient go to where the doctor told them to go. And the patients didn't know that they had that right. So the government, and as well as insurance companies, said, oh no, we're not going to let you go. You do not have to go somewhere where the doctor's invested in it, or if the doctor's an employee of it, you can go wherever you choose. And we've had to fight that battle over the years in every one of the communities until the community learns that they have that right. And so now it'll take a while for everybody in Hopkins County and the surrounding area to realize they have that right to go wherever they choose to go. In fact, this week we've had, it just amazes me how many patients that actually live here in Sulphur Springs, but they go to doctors in Tyler, Dallas area, Rockwall, Paris. We had, one day we had 5 different patients that they were referred to us from a doctor in Plano, one doctor in Longview, one doctor in Tyler, no, it was 2 in Tyler, and one in Mesquite. And these were patients that live here in Sulphur Springs that go out of town to doctors. But with our equipment and our brochures that we've been able to market in all those areas, those doctors are really loving sending to us because they can't get a 3T magnet. They can't get low-dose scans at a lot of those big places. So it's been a great thing for us. It's been kind of an eye-opener for me. I didn't realize so many people in Hopkins County went outside of the area to go to the doctor,
And this is one area in which you won't have to. So we're going to remember Sulphur Springs Imaging Center and learn more about it as we go along. And we don't have much more time left in our interview space, but I do want to ask you, Roy, what do you want to do after this? I mean, what is your dream next several years? I know it's going to be something related to helping the community.
Yeah, that's what we did. I just want to provide things in our community that's never been done before. We built I was one of me and my Dr. Stanley and my son, we built Hopkins Minor Emergency, which gave people another option to be able to be seen when they have an acute problem and they can't get in to see their doctor. We thought that would be a great thing for Sulphur Springs people in Hopkins County, and that's worked extremely well. And that's why I decided to go ahead and do the outpatient imaging, because it gives a patient another option. We get our patients in the same day. Your doctor gets a report the same day.
We have a radiologist on site. So if the patient or your physician has a question, he can call our facility, talk to our radiologist, and he'll be glad to help them.
Yeah, and if we have a patient that has a significant finding, our radiologist will immediately just call the doctor that ordered the exam and tell him, this is an acute problem, which we've had several of the doctors really appreciate the idea that they can do that. Because like at our hospital, we don't have a radiologist there every day. We only have a radiologist a few days a week. But at our clinic, we have our doctor there every day. And what I'm really proud of is our doctors, 7 of our 9 doctors were the chief residents of their classes when they were doing their radiology rotations. And they're extremely well respected all over East Texas from all of our other areas.
That is very good to know. Well, we're excited about it, as you are, and thank you both for coming in from Sulphur Springs Imaging Center. We'll see you there, Roy, and you as well, Eric.
Okay.
Thank you.
We sure appreciate it. Thank you.
Rural hospitals are facing the threat of closure, but a recent study calls in question national policies that set medical and surgical rates for these hospitals. According to the finding published in the May 17th Journal of the American Medical Association, commonplace surgeries are more safe and more economical when done in rural hospitals compared to suburban and city hospitals. The research found that gallbladder removal, colon surgery, hernia repair, and appendix removal, the focus of the study, were more safely performed at rural hospitals, had a better recovery rate, and also found that individuals having surgeries in rural hospitals were less likely to be placed in skilled nursing facilities following their surgeries. For comments by Michael McAndrew, CEO of the local hospital, and more on this story, see ksstradio.com. Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.